Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go over the dividends that were declared today and compare them to the estimates we came up with yesterday. So far, I've heard my estimate was very close on the Berkshire Fund. So let's go look at this right now. Okay, so if I go over here. So let me remind you all what the estimates were. So this was, let's see, last week. I don't know why this isn't. Group A. Thought I had this up. I guess it disappeared on me. Here we go. Here it is right here. Okay, so for Chippy, we got 35 cents, which is a 33% yield. For GPTY, we got 29.5 cents, which is a 32.61% yield. Really good for weeklies, I'll say. Return of capital on these, by the way, is 100%. LFGY, 63%. That's 48 cents for this week. QDTY, 19 cents, which is a 22.5% annualized distribution rate. Remember, this column is annualized. RDTY, 30 cents, which is a 34% annualized rate. Now, this one has a 30-day SEC yield, and all of these so far are strictly return of capital, so there's like no tax on these. STTY is 14 cents if you round up, which is 16% distribution rate. Hopefully that one doesn't fluctuate as much. Ulti, I was almost spot on with what I said. I said 9.5 cents yesterday, and it is 9.6 cents. So it was like 0.01 off, or no, rather 0.001 off. That's an incredibly low margin of error. That's an 80% dividend yield. And then for YieldMax and YMAG, they were both very close. 12.63 cents, which is a 43.26% yield. And then YieldMax, 13.47%, which is a 51.13% yield. And then in this column here for 30-day SEC yield, we have 63% and 82%. Now these here are only 90% and 95% return of capital. So these would have some taxation on them. Now, the rest of them, which we made predictions on, so we got our first dividend for Berkshire. BRKC was 50.29%. So I'm going to switch over to this screen here, and we're going to start doing this. We're going to start doing this weekly now. We're going to put in, oh, salud, welcome. Hey, Pay the Piper's on, welcome. Okay, I didn't announce this in Discord, so we'll just see who joins. All right, let's go over here. So for the estimate for Berkshire, and I think it increased a little bit because we used Friday's price instead of what it closed at yesterday, which is accurate. That is more accurate. So where are we? Oh, I see what happened. They changed their logo. So when I was kind of in the heat of battle here, I didn't see it. For this Global Newswire site, they changed their logo, which I didn't see it on the pop-up screen until just now. Okay, so for Berkshire, it was 0.5029. So we're going to type in 0.5029. So we'll do estimates, actual, and then the difference between the two. And then we'll even do this. We'll do percent difference. Because this is good. If this turns out to be accurate, you'll want to have an accurate source of dividend forecasting, better than the advanced equipment that I typically use. You'll want to have like an accurate, hold on a second here, what happened? There we go. So we're going to have percent difference. This one's going to be easy. It's just going to be this divided by this. It's going to be this one divided by this one. Oh, well, that I actually was like 24% off. Oh, well. More fuel for the haters, I guess. Okay. For the rest, I'm just going to put them in. I don't think I read them off yet, but for Crash, it was 21.56%, which is a 56.91% dividend yield. Let me go back over here for a second, share this tab. Okay, because this is important. So for Berkshire, only 35% of it is return of capital. Now, I like the fact that they're showing what is return of capital and what's not on this, because I feel like for some reason I had to wait until March to file my taxes because I wasn't aware until they published the actual reports of what was return of capital and what wasn't. So there's that every 4 weeks. And then crash is 21.56. So 0.215. That was almost spot on, by the way, folks. That was only like a half a cent off. All right, so what we'll do while I have this screen up here, I'll just go ahead and put them in. So let's see, crash is there. So feet was higher than I thought it would be. Feet is $1.40, 1.4445. So $1.44 basically. That's a 51% yield, 53% 30-day SEC, 0 return of capital. So all of this is going to be taxable, as you see. So that's $1.44. So we were off on that one. They exceeded expectations. So we missed this one on the low end. So we were actually 66% off on that one. The next one we predicted 93 cents, and that one was also higher. 5E was $1.02. Not as far off though. Let's see, $1.02. There we go. And I might just truncate this percent difference column. All right, so yeah, for 5E, $1.03, basically 33% payout, 0% return of capital. For GUI, it's 31 cents if you round up, 33% payout, 3% 30-day SEC, 0% return of capital. That's important. 0% return of capital on these last three. All right, so this one we predicted. Now we were really close on this one. This was 0.30. Let me type that in here and then we'll switch back over. Yeah, 0.3077. So we were only like 2 cents off on this one. So that's really good. Some of them were really close on, some were way off. This one we estimated on the high end though. So for OARK, we predicted 26 cents and we got 34 cents. So we estimated on the low end. I would rather lowball than come in too high and then find out if it's lower, just in case people base any kind of expenses or anything on these. I know they say not to do that, but I know people do. I know people in this audience do. So I say I'd rather come in on the low end if you're planning or budgeting or whatever, and you're relying on this for income. It's better, I think, to come in on the low end than the high end, because then it's like, wow, it exceeded expectations. It's better to be pleasantly surprised than unpleasantly surprised, right? Right, pay the piper. Okay, so this was 34 cents. And we got that one in. Let's see. 3439. 95% of this one is return of capital. So that's important. Next one, SNOY. So we've got about 5 more. So SNOY was 47 cents. It's a 36% yield. 62% is return of capital. So for that was 47 cents. So for these last two, we were fairly close on our predictions, except I guess the percentage for OARK was significant. I don't always go by percentages, though. Percentages can mislead. All right, next one, our favorite, Tesla, 38.73 cents, 65% yield, 82% of this one is return of capital. So there is going to be some tax on this one. So 38.73. This one, I know a lot of people hold this one. This is one of the early ones that a lot of people got into. So thankfully, we were really close on our estimate. We were within like a couple cents. Turned out we lowballed, so it was higher, which I like being higher. I like it being higher than what the estimate says. So that's pretty good. The next one, we predicted 48 cents. That one is TSMY, and it, again, was higher. 63.78 cents. So we predicted 48 cents. It's actually, if you round up, 64 cents. Okay, and then the next one, we've got 2 more. The next one, XOMO, 36.49 was the actual. And then we've got 92. Oh, I didn't cover TSMY. TSMY 95.76 cents is return of capital. Or, I'm sorry, almost 96% of it is return of capital. So you're only getting taxed on like 4% of it. For XOMO, well, how about this one? The percent dividend yield and the payout are almost exactly the same, which means this must trade at like $10 or $20 or some even number. I haven't looked, but I have it on the other screen. So it's 36.49. So yeah, we were off on that one. We predicted 21 cents. So they must have won some more trades. The next step, we're going to start looking at the trades and all that. Oh yeah, XOMO is $12.88. And then the last one, the crypto one, YBIT. So YBIT was 38.12. So 0.3812, there we go. We were off by 9 cents. Not terrible. Okay, so now that we've done that, let me cover the return of capital again. 88% return of capital for YBIT, 92.57% return of capital for XOMO, and then we covered TSMY. Okay, so now we're going to switch over to the spreadsheet over here, share this one, and then we'll truncate this column for the time being. Oops, what did I do? We're just going to get rid of this column for now. Okay, so here's what we got. The estimate for Berkshire. Let me get it on the screen here. So the estimate was 66 cents. The actual was 50 cents or 50 cent. 16-cent difference. Let me go ahead and convert these all to dollars. Makes more sense. Dollars and cents, right? The next one we were only off by 1 cent. 21 cents versus 22. The next one we were off by a whopping 58 cents. $1.44 actual, estimate 86 cents. 5E, we were off 9 cents, 93 versus $1.03 if we round. There's a little rounding error there. We were off technically by 3 cents on GUI, 33 cents versus 31 cents. That's, again, rounding. We were off 8 cents here, OARK, 26 cents estimate versus 34 cent actual. SNOY, we were off by 4 cents. Pretty good. 43 cents versus 47 cents. TSLY, or Tesla, we were at 3 cents off, 36 cents versus 39 cents. And again, this is including rounding. TSMY, 48 cent estimate, 64 cent actual, off by 15 cents. Same with the next one, off by 15 cents, 21 cents versus 36 cents. This last one, 29 cents versus 38 cents, we were off by 9 cents. So on all but 2 of them, we underestimated the dividend on all but 2 of them. Only 2 of them we overestimated. So that's pretty good, I would say. Let me know you all's thoughts in the comment section here. If not, that's pretty much all we have to cover for this one. So thank you all for tuning in. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. By the way, tomorrow we're in New York, and I'm going to film as much as I can. Just like I said last year at the preface to the New York trip, I'm going to do as much YouTubing as I can because I'm there for YouTube. So I'm going to do as much filming as I can. I'm going to do so much filming, you might get tired of it, but I don't think you'll ever get tired of me. So thank you all. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.